Day number 5 in West Michigan. I'm getting some pipes patched this morning. We're due for some pipes on our grain setup here. Just kind of checking these guys out for a minute, and then we'll grease our machines up and start our journey. We got to go up to Ionia today. It's about a 12-mile drive. So after we get greased up, we'll probably start our journey. I don't know if we'll get a super early start, but we had a breeze last night. We didn't think it'd do that much, but I know my shoes were wet walking across my yard this morning, so Corey's down blowing his machine off. When he's done, I'll go down there. I'm gonna try to stay out of the dust. My nose is plugged this morning. Even though I wear a respirator most times that I get out of my cab, my nose is still plugged up. It's a beautiful morning though. We have 150 acres up there. That's probably all we'll get today because we don't have anywhere close by to go to after that. So we'll probably come back, regroup, and then we're heading to Mulliken tomorrow. And they're supposed to bring that T-Series Gleaner out tomorrow. So, I mean, it'll still be a good day. 150 acres, you never know what can happen also, so it could end up taking all day just to get that. You just never really know. But if everything goes smoothly, we'll probably be back, you know, maybe just before dark. So if we had a small field that we could hit close to home, we would, but I don't think we have any beans ready in the 2 small fields we do have right here, so more than likely the Ionia farm will be all we do today, but we'll see. I feel like I say that a lot. We'll see. That is farming, right? We'll just see. Let's do a quick little equipment tour. We got the Pottinger high-speed disc, Terra disc they call it. What is that? That's a 1000 T. Then we got the Fendt 1050 on that. Thing's a Cadillac for that job. We used to pull it with, we had another T9. We used to pull it with one of those, and we couldn't hit our speeds, and the auto steer just wasn't good enough to keep up with the higher speed either. And I wouldn't say the T9 quite had the power. I think it's more in the transmission than actual horsepower, but this is everyone's favorite tractor, I'd say. Just looks pretty tough. I'm not super happy with these tires. The corn stalks, I don't know if it'll show up on video. The corn stalks has been eating our tires. We've been talking to them about that. 'Cause, I mean, this is brand new, so we're gonna have to do something on that. I know the sun's behind it, but I mean, the stance of this tractor is just tough looking. That's a pretty cool tractor. Then we got the T9 560. We basically just use this for chisel plowing now. Like I said, we used to have 2, so we kept 1. And we basically only chisel plow our like where we have our gypsum piles and chicken manure piles. Or if we put some tile in, we'll chisel plow those fields. And then we got the 1042. We got that on the chicken manure spreader right now. We also plant corn with it. And everybody's favorite job, the manure spreader. We'll be putting some chicken litter down probably in the next couple days. On the ground that we had wheat on. There's no traffic on this road either. It takes you an hour to get out of the driveway sometimes. Then we got the Targator 8103. She's getting a little clapped out, but I used to run that. Now my cousin Bruce runs it. He does all our fertilizer spreading. These two Yahoos. And then of course we have the two Gleaners S series. We have another Fendt that you've seen on the grain cart. That's a 936. Our truck lineup is pretty old. We try to run our as cheap as we can on the trucks. These two will probably go sometime soon. These old Internationals, they're pretty light. We have a Freightliner over there, and we have a Volvo. We just kind of whatever trucks we can get our hands on for a good price is what we use. And the bean plant. And all of our corn, you can see it far in the distance over there, there's a grain elevator, which is ours. That's where all our corn goes.
Trying to get a hood.
You're gonna get a hood? Can't fix this one?
Fiberglass so broke. I just want to see how much a hood is.
Right. It's gotta have the brown fenders though.
Yeah, I know.
Or whatever color that is. I think it's brown.
I call it brown.
This is a truck that the grain cart tire blew the hood off it. Broke it. I'm just gonna price one out just to see. I'm trying to think of what else we have. Of course, our planters. We'll get them some other time. We both run, Corey plants all the corn, I plant the beans. And we both run precision technology on our planters. Mine's a Fendt Momentum. His is a white on a Challenger frame. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Pick it up later. Okay, we are moving along. I've already made a few rounds up here. I was just waiting to make sure everything was gonna go good before I started filming. But it's about a 30-minute drive up here from our home farm. I think I had, I don't know, almost 40 cars behind me when I pulled in. So I had a nice parade going. That was pretty funny. But we are up in Ionia, Michigan right now. It must be around, I don't know, 12 to 15 miles from our farm to this field, something like that. But the goal today is to get these 2 fields done. There's one on each side of the road. It's 150 acres total. And if we can accomplish that, we will be at 1,000 acres on our soybeans for the year, which would put us at 800 to go. So we're at a pretty good pace. We feel this is day number 6, and we didn't really start till after dinner time on our first day, so you know, in the evening. So in reality, it's 5 full days of harvesting, and we will have, if we get this done today, it'll be 1,000 acres done. We haven't had to shut down for weather yet, and there's no rain in the forecast either, so really it's looking like we should just be able to keep plowing through and wipe out our soybeans. The only issue with the harvest, really, and it hasn't really been much of an issue, but the moisture in the soybeans is very low. They're too dry. But for whatever reason this year, we're not splitting them, and we also are not getting a lot of head loss. Usually when they're this dry, you have them bouncing off your windshield all day, and we just haven't seen that yet. Every now and then I see some coming out of the pods, but it's been pretty minimal, so we haven't really even thought about quitting yet. This is our first full field of our 2.5s. We've been running 2.0 beans. These are 2.5s. They're Beck's 2550s to be exact. We plant Beck seed on our farm. So this is our first good look at these beans. We'll be running them the next, I don't know, probably 2 or 3 days. And right now, after a couple rounds, I got a 61 bushel average. So that's not too shabby. My brother is a Beck's salesman. Him and my cousin Bruce. I was for a hot minute, but sales is not my thing. And we had just had my daughter at the time, so I just didn't want to be away from home anymore than I had to be, and just wasn't for me, we'll put it that way. So a little bit about our farm. We are Broadbeck Farms. We're located in Lake Odessa, Michigan. We farm 4,000 acres. In this rotation we had think I planted 1,800 acres of soybeans. Corey planted 1,700 acres of corn, and the rest was wheat. That'll shift around a little bit next year. We also own a grain elevator. Back in the early 2000s, excuse me, my dad and my uncle bought an old ADM plant that's right where we farm. And we only store corn there now. It sits right next door to an ethanol plant called Carbon Green Bioenergy, and we store corn for them as well. They rent some of our storage there. I believe we can store 1.5 million bushels there. Pretty sure. Might be 1.7. I guess I don't really remember. I should know that. So it's a pretty big plant. It's old, but we've updated it a little bit over the years. Our brother-in-law runs that place for us. His name's Alec. And he helps us on the farm. He does a lot of our tillage in the spring. Does pretty much all the grain handling in the fall. But he still gets out a little bit to help with the beans. He was doing tillage the other day. He's a really good mechanic and fabricator as well. So he's been a good asset to add to the farm. We also have my nephew Caden. He's in the grain cart right now, but he works full-time at the grain elevator. Then we have another employee there named Paul. You might see him in the spring if I'm still making videos come next spring. He'll help out on the farm a little bit here and there. He does a lot of our seed stuff in the spring, as far as getting seed to the planters and stuff like that. Then you got my brother. He plants all the corn. I plant all the soybeans. I don't know if I've mentioned that. And then we run the combines during harvest. So unless someone else picks up a camera, this is what you're gonna see on my channel for the most part, is me and my combine during harvest time, and then during planting season you'll see me planting soybeans. And the rest of the year, you might see a little bit of the grain elevator stuff. I haul some corn sometimes. But I try to make myself available for Michael. He's our main mechanic at the farm. We call him Skis. I always try to make sure he has what he needs, and whether it's going to get parts for him, or ordering, or even just lending a hand. I'm not a great mechanic, but if someone tells me what to do, I can do it. Or at least try. But that's just kind of how we operate our farm, is everybody's got their own responsibilities and jobs. Corey does our grain marketing, I do our book work, tax stuff, pay all our bills, you know, all that fun stuff. And you cannot see a single thing right now, it's pretty dusty. But our family has been in the Lake Odessa / Woodland area since like the 1860s, I believe. It came over from Germany. And we've been farming in that area ever since they settled there. I have an uncle and cousin who farm as well in the same area. I do not like it when the dust is coming right up from behind you like this. It's never fun. But as kids, we grew up working for our grandpa. His name was Larry. And my grandma Marie. So we grew up working for them, / my dad. And then in the teenage years, it was more my dad working for him. And then through our early adulthood, it was working for my dad still. But my dad kind of backed out, you know, retired. I don't know, going on 4 or 5 years maybe now. And my brother and I have been running things. Ever since, so. But yeah, we got a pretty good crew. So you got my brother, me, Caden, Al, Skis, Paulie. Then we got truck drivers. We got Mert, Chris, right now, and then come corn harvest, we'll add 2 more to the mix. We'll have Rich and Ivan. You might see some of them guys on camera eventually. But I'd say we're pretty streamlined with the way we've set up our farm. We are an AGCO farm, which just means we run all AGCO equipment. Fendt tractors, we have 1 New Holland, which I did a little bit of a equipment tour this morning, which I think I'll splice onto this video at the beginning of it, but at a later date I'll do maybe a better one, you know, more in depth. So yeah, the Fendt tractors, we got a T9 New Holland. Then we run Gleaner combines, obviously. But Lake Odessa sits right in between Lansing and Grand Rapids. I guess we consider ourselves West Michigan.
I'm going just a little bit closer to me.
He does. We have struggled with white mold in our soybeans the last couple seasons, which is why we started doing 30-inch rows, see if that helps. We think it did. That's one thing I'll say, and I don't know how many planters are like that, but that's one thing I'll say about the Fendt Momentum planter, is at least with the precision, you know, the 2020 and all that, it's really easy to lift your split rows. So I switch in between 15-inch rows and 30-inch rows, you know, I don't know how many times in a day, a lot. Literally takes me a minute probably to switch back and forth. Maybe more planters than I know of do that, I'm not real sure, but offers you some nice flexibility there. My dad may come hop in the cab one of these days. He'd be a good visitor to get on the channel, maybe tell a little more of the background of the farm and all that. His name's Kevin. He was milking cows back in the 80s when I was a little kid. I can kind of remember it. I remember listening to the Tigers when they were playing in the World Series. I believe that was, what was that, 84 or 86 that they won the World Series, but I slightly remember that, listening to it while we were milking cows. And things were tough back in the 80s, and he got out of the milk business and started buying land, and that's kind of how we got to where we're at today, just doing crop farming. But our family's been at it for a long time. I believe they were farmers when they lived in Germany as well, so maybe forever. I have no idea, really. But we have two main farm equipment dealers that we work with. I think I've mentioned them. Williams, can't talk today. Williams Farm Machinery in Charlotte, Michigan. We work with them. That's where we get our Gleaner combines from. And we also work with Farm Depot in Ionia. That's where we got our Fendt tractors from and our planters. So Williams is going to bring out the T-Series Gleaner tomorrow, I believe. And then when we get into corn, Farm Depot might bring out a Fendt combine for us to demo in corn. I ran one in soybeans 2 seasons ago. I think the same combine. But they're trying to sell some combines, so they're just trying to get it out to farmers. I know that from talking with them. So we kind of sit in a nice little ag pocket here in the state of Michigan. We have pretty good soil here. It's heavier dirt. But we have a lot of rocks. That's the downside. You get to the east of the Lake Odessa area, especially where we'll be tomorrow in the Mulliken area, there's really no rocks. we've only been farming in that area for a year, and it's a lot different than our spot, the Lake Odessa area. But as far as the rocks are concerned, so we're pretty fortunate though to have the dirt that we have. We're able to grow pretty good crops. Good for us would be in soybeans. You know, we consider 60 bushel soybeans pretty good. You know, 70 is what we're shooting for nowadays. In corn, man, I don't know. We've had some really good corn crops. But on our farm anyways, if we're not over 200 bushel, we're not happy. That is our new standard pretty easily. On our best farms, you know, we're looking for that 225, 250 average. Doesn't always happen, obviously. But we use zero irrigation on our farm. Like I said, we have pretty heavy dirt. So if we're too wet, that can be an issue for us come harvest time. But it's been quite a few years now. I'd say the last 4 or 5 harvests have been pretty dry. We did go through a stretch though before that where we were just too wet and cold, and multiple harvests in a row, and that's no fun. We end up letting the ground freeze and running at night when that happens. I don't even want to talk about it, to be honest with you. I don't want it to happen. Last year we were done real early. I know it was before Halloween. We were done with our entire harvest. I don't remember the exact date off the top of my head. Maybe in the October 20th range, somewhere in there. And I suppose if the weather holds, that could happen again this year. We did get a little bit of a later start this year on our soybeans. By maybe a week, 5 days, something like that. I think I showed you the manure spreader this morning. We do spread some chicken litter, lime, gypsum, potash, DAP. We don't use a whole lot of DAP. We've cut back on the chicken litter a little bit this year. The crop prices are down. But yeah, so that's a little bit about us and our farm. Like I said, maybe someday I'll get my dad or somebody to come ride with me and maybe go a little more in depth on that. So a little more maybe about what you'll see on the channel. I think I've already mentioned I'm pretty much in a cab all the time, so this is what you'll get. And in the off seasons, you know, maybe I'll try to make it a little more entertaining. We have some characters around for sure. But if this channel takes off, I'll get a little more professional with it. I'll have my wife edit the videos maybe eventually, and feature some other stuff, I guess, if it ends up getting kind of big. I don't really have that expectation, but I guess you never know, and if that happens, I'll get a little more in depth on the YouTube thing. Kind of just started it out of fun and just to see, you know. I haven't really seen too many big Michigan farming YouTube video or channels out there. Maybe they exist and I just haven't seen them, but so I thought, hey, I'll pop on here, start making some videos for Michigan, and at least for our area. See how it goes. Looks like Skis is in the cart tractor with Caden, giving him some pointers maybe. He's doing pretty good. He just graduated high school last year, so this is his first year of being a full-time worker. He's my sister's son. But I think I'm gonna wrap this video up with that. Got you a little background on our farm, and maybe I'll make a shorter video later on today, but just as an update or something like that. I see I just hit over 50 subscribers, so I should be able to live stream now. I don't know if I'll try, maybe I'll try a live stream later today, just to see if it works, because I think I would like to live stream the big field tomorrow, so maybe I'll just see how that works today. But thanks to everybody who has subscribed, and like I said, if this keeps growing, I'll do more and more stuff and better quality and all that. So, all right, thanks for watching.